Okay, real quickly, I'm going to cover what a square foot looks like. Okay, square foot. It means it's a square, and each side has the measure of 1 foot. So when you find the area of anything is length times width. Or some people call it base times height. Okay, so this would be 1 foot squared. Well, if I had a square that was 2 feet by 2 feet, we'd have 2 times 2 is 4. Excuse me, 4 feet squared. So 4 square feet. So as I was saying before, like when you get into, you guys just got a new house, you measure a room, you measure this distance. If this is 10 by 12, and they're both feet by feet, 10 times 12 would be 120 square feet, which means 120 of these little square feet will fit in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that. And then you have 10 by 12. So you'd have 120 of these little square feet in that area. Well, now on this question, they're asking about a square kilometer. No big deal. It's the same thing. You draw a square. It just means that each edge is 1 kilometer, which is approximately, I'm going to say it's close to a mile, but it's not. I think it's actually bigger than a mile. I'm not sure. But it doesn't matter. And they're saying for each one of these squares, this is 1 kilometer squared, the area is, there are 210 people. That's the information that's given when you first read it. Okay. On the second part, it says, if you had a neighborhood that was a square that measured 3 kilometers by 3 kilometers, I need to figure out how many of these little 1 kilometer squares are in there. So I basically am going to, you don't have to draw this. Eventually we'll get to a point where we'll just be able to do the math. But you can see easily I'm going to have 9, because there's 1 kilometer. There'd be 1, 1, and 1. That adds up to 3. Here I've got 1 kilometer, another kilometer, and 1 more. So you can see it's like a Rubik's Cube. I'd have 9 of these. So I have 9 of these little squares in here. Each one of these squares is represents approximately 210 people. So 3 times 3, you see there are 9 squares. The area of this is 9 kilometers squared. So I need to take the 210, which represents 1 kilometer, and multiply it times 9. So 9 times 210. And you get 1,890. And they're asking you to approximate. So when you look at the answers, the only answer that makes sense is the 1,900.
Mm-hmm.